So this chat is about what I call health games. They affect us all, at least those of us who eat, drink, and consider good health to be important in life. The main point I would like to make here concerns a difference between ancient understanding and modern Western medicine. It also involves the serious money-making industries of disease and food. As you know, there are a number of areas where Eastern and Western thought fail to see eye to eye. From an everyday viewpoint, nowhere is this more obvious than with the spleen. That little-known organ sitting just to the left side of the stomach. In traditional Chinese medicine, the spleen plays a vital role. It has a specific job to do. It is responsible for the digestion, assimilation, and distribution of all nutrients and water that come into the body. Perhaps more importantly, but not so well appreciated, the spleen governs the function of thinking due to its influence on intention. There's not enough time here to go into the detail of how this works, but if you ask any Chinese doctor or acupuncturist, they will confirm this, and we can always come back to that at a later date if there is any interest. What is very real is the strong evidence that we have all experienced and observed in recent years that the average human's ability to think and make a decision is on the decline. That ability to think things through to the natural conclusion of action, non-action, is readily abandoned in this day and age for an easier wait-and-see attitude, indecision due to lack of intention. In Western medicine, the spleen is a redundant organ which can even be removed without serious consequence to the owner. Clearly, it counts for little. If what I suggest is true, there is a very logical reason for this general lack of intention caused by not thinking in today's modern world. And here's my take. Non-thinking is our very human capacity to lack discrimination. Never in mainland China, nor in most diaspora Chinese communities, Singapore and the USA, Canada, will you find Chinese people using ice. They have been taught not to because it is dangerous for the spleen. It stops the spleen from working normally, which then upsets the process of assimilation, digestion, thinking, and development of intention. Traditional Chinese medicine also recognizes that synthetic MSG, monosodium glutamate, has a similar paralyzing effect on the spleen. We all know of the MSG controversy, and not much remains to be said about the subject, even if there is no conclusion to be drawn. However, what the system has to add makes a big difference. Whatever your belief as to the origin of thought, whether it is a matter of education, breathing, alien control, directed frequencies, individual brain power, and so on, there does seem to be a not thinking trend in the last few years, which might well find an explanation in diet. Never in recorded human history has the quality of our food and water been so affected by industry. After all, we are what we eat, or at least in part. If we eat food which contains things that stop our thinking faculty, then it is not rocket science to understand why. If I was a conspiracy theorist, volumes could be written to develop the potential of such a remarkable mind control method. That is not my intention here. But I would suggest you look around you. We have increasingly lost the ability to know what is good or bad, and are inclined to follow blindly what people tell us, without referring to our all-conscious intuitive capacity, what we call the gut feeling. Given that we must all eat and drink, apart from the odd breatharian or two, it's a safe bet that these two activities take up a certain amount of your interest and time during the waking day. If you're watching, listening to this, the odds are even higher that you pay attention to your food, and quite right too. We know that synthetic MSG creates addiction. We know that it is a neurotoxin. And even though it appears naturally in certain substances, there is absolutely no advantage to health by adding synthetic MSG to food, although that is what the industry does, because it is to their financial gain. If you believe there is a benefit to thinking for yourself, if you agree that your metabolism is unique, then it becomes a major problem when another person tells you that one food is good for you and another bad, that you should be eating this rather than that. How can anyone know what is right for you, let alone about your metabolism? But that is what so many health gurus and modern medicine do. One pill fits all. How is it remotely conceivable that one drug or form of medication can treat a condition without impacting the rest of a person's metabolism? The medicine may achieve the desired result, but the secondary effects are random. And while probably not attributed to the use of the drug, will in most cases cause an additional problem, if not problems. There is no question here of judgment of modern Western medicine. That would be overly reactionary and deny the immense benefits it has produced. But the fact remains, we all have our individual metabolism, which cannot be the subject of generalization or the dictates of opinion peddlers. As always, don't believe what I say. Try it for yourself. Reduce or cut the use of ice and see the difference. And watch out for the concealed synthetic MSG hiding under 50 or so different names in the ingredients of your food. Remember, your bad health is someone else's wealth.
If you have enjoyed this content and wish to support Christopher and the team in providing ad-free and regular content updates, back us on patreon.com/Christopher Freeland. You can also find the blog, contact the team, and other authorings at netterenergies.com. Links are in the description of this video. Thank you. Okay, I'll do one more just to